Hey everybody, so we are now live, and you all know that I've decided to do a live from now on until I get my camera together because my camera is just not working the way that I want it to. So, you all know me as LaPrecious. My name is LaPrecious, and welcome to my channel. But I've decided to change the name of my channel because I feel like I need to become a YouTube personality as opposed to being a talk show basis because I really want to grow my channel this for the new year. I really want my channel to be big and I really want my channel to be known. And I'm gonna be honest, I just want to start making money on my channel. So I've been looking at other channels and I've noticed the channels that have like screen names or nicknames and whatnot to them. They're the ones that people tend to gravitate towards because they feel like instead of them talking to a channel, they're talking to a person because people want to talk to someone that they can relate to and really be into. So I've decided to name this channel 2019 Memories. And the reason why I named this channel, not channel, but this video 2019 Memories is because I'm going to talk to you all about the memories of 2019. So the first memory that I have of 2019 is the B2K 2019 Millennium Tour that I attended in March in Greensboro. I was so happy to go to the Millennium Tour because I had always wanted to see B2K and Chingy and Mario in concert because at the time when their music was popping back in the early 2000s, I was like 8, 9, 10 years old, and my mom back then did not let me go to concerts even if she was going to accompany me. She just felt like I was too young, I shouldn't go, and so that was that, and that's why I didn't go back then to their concerts. But since they decided to get back together and do the Millennium Tour, I decided to go. The performances were flawless. The singing was flawless. Everything was on point. The only acts that I didn't like in the 2019 Millennium Tour lineup was the Yin Yang Twins and who else? Bobby Valentino. I really didn't care too much for Bobby Valentino. I mean, he's had a few good songs, but I was never a big fan of his back then. And with the Yin Yang Twins, I mean, they had the Whisper song and the Salt Shaker song. But other than that, I wasn't like a really big fan of theirs back then. But now that I think about it, since all this mess has popped off with Lil Fizz and Amarion and the other members of B2K, they just done. And Amarion done went ahead and dropped the new lineup for the 2020 Millennium Tour, and B2K is nowhere to be found. There's only like the Yin Yang Twins, Lloyd, they added Ashanti to the lineup, and there is Soldier Boy. But I'm not going to the 2020 Millennium Tour. I really don't care to see Omarion and Yin Yang and Mario again or Lloyd because I just don't want to sit through all them acts that I saw this year. So that's why I don't want to go to the 2020 Millennium Tour. And I'm glad that I went because I was able to cherish a memory and I was able to cherish a feeling that I've always wanted to fulfill since childhood. So, I'm happy I got to fulfill that and I did it before they broke up again like they did, way back then. So the next memory I want to discuss is, let's see, the second memory. The second memory or the second trend of 2019 was that I've noticed that a lot of people started to become interested or re-interested in religions like Santeria, Wicca, or spiritualism, or a combination of Santeria and Wicca, astrology, numerology. I mean, this year there have been tons of videos about these. These are what you call 7-day candles, where you burn the candles on a wish that you have, or you burn a candle based off a desire that you want to fulfill. And, I've seen Anaya Ivy do videos. You have this lady called the Witch Duchess on YouTube. Then you have the Botanica Havana on YouTube. Then you have the Three Hoodoo Sisters on YouTube, and people have really gotten into this stuff. And I even saw an article that stated that a lot of people have turned to astrology as a cheaper way to handle mental health. And I can honestly say that I agree with that because this year I did go to a psychic for the very first time. I went to her twice, but she really wasn't all that helpful because she was confusing the second time around. And some of the stuff I felt like just wasn't adding up. Then I decided to go to a psychic on Instagram who I felt like she was more relatable to me. I could relate to her more on a cultural level and a mental level as well. And she's really been helping me with a lot of things that I've been dealing with. And I can say I was able to talk to her more with the help of other hotline specialists when it comes to mental health and dating issues and things like that. I've been able to get a lot of help now than I was before, with the help of a psychic. And so now you have tons of people doing voodoo spells, tons of people doing tarot card readings, palm readings, a lot of people doing the money spells, the sweet money jars, the come to me oils, everything. And I don't know why this has started to become back in style. I didn't jump on this because it was a trend. To those of you who don't know, I am a Christian, but I have incorporated Santeria as well as Catholicism into my practices, along with the 7 day candles, because for whatever reason, I've always felt a connection with it since I was a child. And I've always felt like this was a way of knowing the unknown and getting answers on things that you may not be able to get the answers from everyday people. So I decided to go back to it because I felt like this was something that could really help me and really guide me, and it has. So that's something that I could say happened as of this year. The third thing that I want to talk about is Summer Walker. Summer Walker is a singer. She's one of those new age neo soul singers in the lineup with Kalani, Janae Eiko, and SZA. And there was some buzz and a little bit of an internet tiff in the beginning about Summer Walker trying to be like SZA or SZA having an issue with Summer Walker. I'm gonna be honest, when I first heard of Summer Walker, I did not want to listen to her because I'm like, here we go with another F boy singer singing about being in our feelings, smoking weed, this dude doing me wrong, him breaking my heart, him not liking me liking him, but him not liking me, us fucking on the weekend, and hey, beautiful magic, and us being together Monday through Friday, but not seeing each other Saturday or Sunday because he's with another girl. Him texting me, I'm calling him. Him texting me, I'm not talking to him. And this struggle love, confusion love, and it's all supposed to make some type of sense in the study of the stars. I'm like, this is so 2017. Like, do I really need to hear this? But once I started listening to Summer Walker's music, the first song I heard was called Girls Need Love, which featured Drake. And I think that's what really put her on the map because that song actually came out last year, but it didn't blow up till this year. And then she did another song called Playing Games, which was good. And then she did a song called Come Through, which was a sample of Usher's You Make Me Wanna that he did back in like 1997 from his My Way album. And it had him featured on the song. That's a song I can honestly say was somebody did the sample justice, and they even had enough respect for the original artist or the artist from the song who they sampled it from on the song that did it justice. Now, Come Through wasn't as big as Playing Games or Girls Need Love, but it was still a good song. Beautiful Magic. Summer Walker is an artist who just became really big and popular this year. She's up there with people like Kalani, Janae Aiko, a little bit of Ella May. Ella May is more of an R&B song, less of a neo soul, but I think she might be able to fit in there some way somehow. And with SZA. And she was really the talk of the town as far as the music, as well as Lizzo this year, because they blew up so fast. And everybody was pretty much talking about their struggles or their popularity or their music similarities and whatnot this year. One thing I'll say about Summer Walker and SZA, Summer Walker and SZA are pretty much similar artists. They're similar artists because they fit into that neo soul new age way of singing. We're in tune with the spirit, we're in tune with nature, peace and love. It's all about being at one with the stars and positivity, down with the vibe, and smoking weed or smoking hookah. I'm above the negativity, I'm above it all. It's all about being successful and being at one with my music. They're on the same wavelength. I just feel like with SZA was the artist of the time when everybody was dealing with the F boy syndrome. I experienced this because I felt like a lot of SZA songs was the story of my life at the time, because I dealt with a lot of F boys and whatnot at that time, and a lot of the stuff she was singing about I can relate to. And I feel like Summer Walker is the reformed version of SZA, where she's like, I'm tired of dealing with you not texting me, you're not talking to me. I want you to say my name. I want you to claim me. I want you to post my pictures on Instagram and to get back with me when you say you are. Or, I want to be in love. I don't want just good sex and then you not texting me the next day, or you texting me sporadically and asking me to come through. I want you to claim me as your girlfriend. I want you to give me good love as well as good sex, and I want us to be something. So I feel like that's their like equation of equality or similarity with the two. It's like SZA, F boy, da 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 da. Yeah, that's what SZA was on, the foolishness. It may sound harsh, but that's what she was singing about at the time. And Summer Walker is like, I'm tired of the foolishness. Give me my man, give me real love, give me marriage, give me togetherness. And that's pretty much what she was. And I felt like some of the fans was kind of like, there she's trying to be like SZA, she's trying to be like, Janae Eiko, blah blah blah, and I just felt like it wasn't that serious. Like SZA was for this era, and Summer Walker is for this era. So I felt like that's how people need to see it. The next thing I want to deal with Summer Walker was her social anxiety that she kept talking about this year, as well as, people calling her nasty, saying she had crackhead fingers, and people talking about her altar and stuff that she had. When it comes to Summer Walker's social anxiety, I didn't believe it. I didn't believe Summer Walker's social anxiety because how can you say you're afraid? Well, here's how the social anxiety thing started. It first started with the fans complaining that she wasn't that opening, she wasn't that humble, she wasn't that welcoming or that engaging at the meet and greets. That's what she came out and said, I don't really like being around people that much. Then it got worse when people was picking on her hands. She's like a real skinny girl, has a nice silhouette, and she has, tattoos. She's like a mix of an R&B and a SoundCloud rapper as far as looks are concerned. She got like the face tattoos, the tattoos on her neck and her hands. That's how she looks. Then people was talking about how she took a picture of one of her bath buckets where it had like a sponge, some oil, and some body washes and stuff. And I mean, people on the internet could be mean and cruel, so people just gonna say anything. Then people was talking about the altar that she had, where she had candles like this, and she had the crystals, and I think some spell books and herbs. I think Summer Walker is more of a Wicca worshiper instead of a Santeria worshiper, because that's what the altar looked like to me. Wicca is where they have like, I need to quit banging up these candles because these things are not cheap and I don't want to buy another one. But Wicca is the one that you see with the circle and it has like the 5 point star in the middle. And they use the candles and they believe in like the flame interpretations and spells and whatnot. And I think that's what Summer Walker does. And people were talking about that as well. And I can understand when it comes to Summer Walker, it can be overwhelming when every time you do something like post a picture or don't act the way that people want you to, people got something to say. So I can understand that frustration, but Summer Walker, you're a platinum selling artist. People love your music, people can relate to it, and when people can relate to how you sing and how you think, that's amazing. And you're making money on top of that and able to sell out shows and whatnot. The social anxiety needs to go away. I know what it's like to have social anxiety. I know what it's like to be depressed. I know what it's like to not want to be around people. But in order for you to make your money and in order for you to profess your gift and to perform and sing, you have to get over that. And plus, I don't really believe that you have social anxiety that bad when before you became famous, you had a YouTube channel where you would sing in front of the piano playing. And Summer Walker has a beautiful voice. The way that she sounds on tape is the way that she sounds a cappella. So her voice is authentic. And I feel like you sung a cappella and on a piano on YouTube, and that's how you gained your following. You used to be a stripper, and in order for you to be a stripper, you have to be very confident. You not only have to be unclothed, you have to dance, do a whole bunch of stuff to make money. And you had a cleaning business before you became a singer. So why is it that back then, when you was taking your clothes off, scrubbing people's floors, and doing YouTube and stuff, you didn't have social anxiety. But now you're performing and you got all this stuff going on. Now you have social anxiety. I know that there are people out there that have social anxiety for real, but that's not making sense to me. Like, are you saying you have social anxiety because you don't want to deal with people, or you just want people to pay you their hard-earned money for you to sing, dance, and twirl around on stage, and you just want to smile and take pictures and not say nothing to people? Because that's what that's coming off to me as. But hopefully, Summer Walker can get it together, and hopefully, this is not just a trending year for her. Because I feel like with SZA, when she did that Control album in 2017, that was just her year, and it's like after that, you didn't hear nothing else. And so, hopefully, with Summer Walker, she could put out another good album that can play and be seen and heard and stuff. And that's just that, and not just that, but she could have a career and not just a year where she was just a trend of the year, the talk of the year, and we don't hear nothing else. So moving along from Santeria and Summer Walker and the Millennium Tour, I want to discuss the Black China show. Now, we all know Black China has really been through the tough and the rough, from her mama to Rob Kardashian to the Kardashians themselves to Dream Kardashian, her daughter. So she's just really been through it for the past 3 years. This all got started when Tyga left her for Kylie. And, she was hurt or whatever. And then she went and being spiteful and got them back by dating Rob Kardashian. And they got engaged and she had a baby. Then they had a TV show. And once Black China got caught in her finessing, when it came to the Kardashians, that's when everything just started like falling apart. She got sued by the Kardashians. She was suing them because she said they were the reason why her show got canceled. She was missing out on money. And then you had Rob realize he got played by her. Then he released all those naked pictures, and you had the revenge porn situation. So Black China has been through it with the Kardashians for like years. And I think it might be another year or two before all of this stuff is just settled, either in court and out of court, and she'll be clean. When it came to this TV show on Zeus, I was hoping that Black China was really going to be able to talk about her life and to talk about her feelings and to really give us some inside tea or inside scoop about the Black China show and what happened with Robin China, the show, and what happened between her and Rob, and what happened between her, Rob, and the Kardashians, and even her relationship with Tyga at the moment. Because I hate seeing recent interviews of China and they ask her the same old thing. Are you getting child support from Rob and Tyga? She says no. How's your relationship with you and the Kardashians? I can't talk about that. We're in court. We're all good. Everybody's on the same page. We know that's a lie. How's Rob doing with Dream? They both have, separate custody of Dream. And it's like, it's stuff we've already heard. And it's like, I felt like with the show, China made herself look bad and worse than she has in a really long time. And her mama being so abusive to her in that first episode with her saying, I don't give a F ASAP, after this stuff that's going on. And when you look at it, if y'all are able to discern things, like I do sometimes, that whole show was a facade. It looked staged, it looked fake. A lot of the crew members was leaving and they was coming out doing YouTube videos and channels and Instagram lives about stuff going on in the show before the episodes were dropping. This whole show was a mess and a fiasco from the start. And that's why I really didn't even do a last episode review of the China show because it was so messy and it was boring. It's like for 30 minutes in some episodes, it was just nothing but back to back arguing, back to back fussing about nothing. And I even had to skip through some of the episodes because it was just so boring. I'm like, China, you could have got a ghostwriter or somebody from Love and Hip Hop to write your storyline for this show because this was garbage. Like serious garbage. So, and then I saw on China's Instagram page that there may be a season two. I'm like, if you do a season two, please have somebody write the script for this show because I did not like season one. And if it looked like it's going to look the way it did in season one, I'm not watching it. I'm not covering it. Yeah, her mama and her are crazy. Her mama and her are crazy. And then Tokyo Tony, Black China's mom, to sum it all up, because I really don't want to talk about Black Tokyo Tony this whole episode, because she's put on a show for the longest too. To sum it all up, China is a celebrity version of her mama. Both of them grew up in the hood. Both of them were neglected during their childhood. Both of them became sexually active at a young age. Both of them were sexually exploited because Black China's mama was a stripper, just like Black China was. And her mama was a soft porn actress, just like China was. So it's like they went down the same path, but I just feel like her mama either lost sight of what happened or she was doing a lot of running around. And that's why her life just spiraled so much when China became an adult. And China, I think that by China being in the Instagram age and the social media age, it helped her. And that's why she was able to make so much money and gain all this stardom and whatnot from her being a stripper and soft porn actress. She was able to make a career out of it. And I feel like China's mama was regretful of that and was jealous of that. And she shaded her and bashed her and bullied her to the point where she started getting shine. Because, Tokyo Tony ended up being on the real, getting interviews and all kinds of stuff. And she has a show on Zeus called Tokyo Tony Finds Love. I'm going to be honest. I'm disappointed that they gave her a love show instead of a life story show. Cause I'm gonna be honest, I wanted to know how did Tokyo Tony become like that. That's what I wanted to find out. Cause I'm like, it seems like Tokyo Tony has been fighting China for so long for her money, for her attention, for her to get some shine and stuff. And I'm like, you finally got it. But now you want to do this fake love show. A lot of them love shows on Zeus, they're not real. B Simone's ain't real. TT wasn't real. That stuff ain't real because if it was real, we would go on their Instagram pages and see these people they ended up with. So this stuff was just for comedy. But I wanted to see, Tokyo Tony. I'm like, you've been shouting and crying for all this attention. Now you got it, so why can't you tell us your life story? Because I would have been more interested in watching that than watching this Flavor of Love spoof that a lot of people have been calling it. So this was just very, disappointing. It was disappointing. But I am happy to see on the reality TV show spectrum with Love and Hip Hop. I know I was going to do a Love and Hip Hop review, especially the New York since the OGs came back. But since my computer and stuff wasn't acting right, and I've missed like 3, 4 episodes now, I'm just not going to do it. And plus, Love and Hip Hop New York, it is boring. It is boring as hell to me because. Oh, you laughing too? You agree, Beautiful Magic? Because I just feel like Love and Hip Hop New York, I mean, it's good. They brought Chrissy, Yandy, Kim Bella, and I do see where Olivia is coming back too, but she'll probably be like in a later episode, and Rich Dollars and all of them. And I think Samaya Reese might make an appearance too later on. But this Love and Hip Hop New York, and then they got Tahiri and Erica Mena and Safari and Joe Budden. It's like y'all got everybody on this season, and I'm sorry. It's like when Love and Hip Hop New York first came out, that show was the stuff. It was. But I felt like they either got preoccupied with Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and then Hollywood. It's just gotten stale. So I just really hope that Love and Hip Hop New York after this season, they either discontinue it and close it up, or they just get all new people, throw everybody off. Yandy, Jonathan, Rich Dolls, excuse me, all of them off. Throw all of them off and just get a whole new cast of people that the Instagram people know of, that younger people know of to revive the show. Because these back in the day people y'all got, they need to go. They do. They need to go. And even with Chrissy and her being on there with Jim Jones, I really do feel like Chrissy is kind of experiencing some karma from this because it was real funny how in the beginning, just like with Evelyn and Tammy on Basketball Wives, they was the head honchos. They was the ones running the show, making everybody, bow down to them. I'm the ish. I'm the ones y'all need to be respecting. And I'm like, Chrissy, you lost your house. You lost two of your houses because Jim Jones wasn't paying the bills. And it's obvious that Jim Jones blew all the money on the bags that Yandy told you he shouldn't have been spending and buying it on, as well as other stuff. And Jim Jones ain't had a hit since Ballin'. I mean, Cameron was in Dipset with Joel Santana, and Cameron done came out the gate doing stuff with Nicki Minaj and even releasing new music. So it's like, but a bunch of folk fighting to me at each other. Yeah, yeah, it really is. It really is. And I feel like with Jim Jones, Chrissy and Jim Jones and a lot of other people, they have not been on this show for 7 years. I remember when Samaya, Olivia, Jim, and Chrissy walked off because they didn't like how Mona was representing them. And I remember Samaya even called Mona a B word, and they all just walked off. Now, Samaya, she claims to be a millionaire from them detox teas she makes on Instagram. I don't know how real that is because a lot of these people on TV be fronting like they make that kind of money and they really don't. And that's sad because I'm like, how can y'all be making all this money for these episodes and y'all don't invest it in stocks and bonds or like in Ciroc or this liquor and stuff y'all drink to make y'all some long term money so y'all won't have to come back to these shows. So it's a lot that goes on with that. And I feel like Chrissy, she's really gonna be the laughing stock of Love and Hip Hop because it's like you started up here and yeah, Basketball Wives, same thing too. And it's like you falling. You had Jim, the house, the music. Now the house in Jersey and Atlanta, the foreclosed on, and you hardly making any money. You doing real estate stuff and investing with women, and you try to stomp Kim Bella's head out for dating and talking to Fabulous when he was with Emily B, who knocking her teeth out, and she stayed sticking and staying. And Kim Bella is married, and she done had a baby and everything, and she looked like she doing a whole lot better than you. So it's like, Chrissy, you still on this 2011, 2012 stance, and everybody else done upgrade and leveled up but you. So, I mean, I know that sounds bad, but it's the truth. So I feel like they just need to throw that out. Love and Hip Hop New York need to go. And I feel like with Love and Hip Hop New York, they would have been better off using the wives and girlfriends of hip hop old heads like Biggie Smalls, Big Pun, um, let's see who else. We did have Remy Ma. You did have Peter Guns on there one season. So I mean, it's a lot of people they could have used in the beginning, like Ja Rule, Irv Gotti. I mean, y'all had a lot of people y'all could have used, and y'all didn't. So I felt like Love and Hip Hop would have been more interesting if it would have had that instead of people like Yandy and Chrissy and stuff. Like, I'm more interested in Big Pun and Peter Guns and all of them because they came from New York. And we haven't really, heard anything from them since Uptown Baby, Uptown, and what's that song? I don't want to be a player. That Big Pun had, and Big Pun based on his wife, and she don't get along with Fat Joe at all, because she feels like she still owed money from Big Pun's estate and music since he died, and even his kids have come out and said that every time we try to do growing up hip hop or loving hip hop, we're always getting somebody from Fat Joe's camp or people from that Terror Squad team, pushing us back. Yeah, Peter Guns is a whole. He is because he had the girlfriend and then had a wife or whoever she was. Her name was Amina Butterfly, and I didn't know she was a singer until I looked her up one day because she used to be in a group. They had like a little buzz because they had a song that was on that soundtrack of the movie with Tyrese and Megan Good, and somehow she fizzled off. But yeah, he had like a girl. And he was on the season when Cardi B first came on. And yeah, you had like a wife, and she had kids with you. Then you had another girl. She was pregnant. I'm like, what? What's going on here? It's like I've just never seen craziness like that before. And then his son, Corey Guns. He had a good little rap career, but I think he kind of got a little crazy as time went on. He was in an episode of Love and Hip Hop with Rich Dollars, but he didn't talk or nothing like that. He still looked good, but he ain't had a hit since 6 foot, 7 foot with Lil Wayne. And so that's how I feel like with Love and Hip Hop New York. Just throw the whole season away, or throw the whole show or the whole cast away, and bring us some new people. Now, I'm really excited for Love and Hip Hop Miami because Love and Hip Hop Miami, it does look a lot more interesting than it did in past shows. I'm so glad that Amara Negra is no longer race baiting anymore. One of his girlfriends had a baby this year. I'm not surprised because he was thought boxing everywhere. Everywhere. And I think one time he said he was going to get neutered or something like that because he just kept having babies with everybody. You know, but with Love and Hip Hop Miami, it does look like it's going to be more interesting for 2020. And I'm glad that Marla Negra is not race baiting like she was in the beginning because I felt like that was insulting because I'm not going to stay on this racial thing too long in this video, but I feel like Marla Negro's her stance was a slap in the face to Black Americans. I know you have Black people in Latin America, Africa, Europe, and even in some parts of Asia because the slave ship did go over there. But for you to say, "Oh, we're Black too," and this, that, and the third, and then when Gina Rodriguez said the N word when she was singing a Fuji song, you stuck up for her. So I'm like, Amara, are you doing this to get clout from us for Black Lives Matter, or are you really trying to fight for black rights all over the globe? And I'm like, you know what, Amara? I'm like, you did this for nothing, because I don't see how anything really came out of it but a big social media buzz and this long drawn out conversation that really don't seem to be hitting on nothing. I mean, it don't seem like that to me. Then you do have some new people on Love and Hip Hop Miami. That's really interesting to see. You still got Trina and Trick Daddy, Bobby Lights, and Miami Tip, and all those people on there. Then you have Miss Jocelyn Hernandez, the Puerto Rican princess, La Princesa Boricua, that's going to be on there. And I think it's good for Jocelyn to come back, but I have to say this. She fell out with Mona Scott too, said it's gonna take God to come down here to get me to be back on this show. And as we saw, she ain't been doing nothing but modeling, exercising, taking pictures on Instagram, and had a baby. And she did have a baby special, which was really pretty. I liked the baby special she had when she had Bonnie Bella and her family on there. And other than that, she didn't have nothing else. Then I think she was on marriage boot camp with her boyfriend, and she was on Married to Medicine. I don't know why they put her on there. I think they put her on Married to Medicine just to give her a little money, because she was supposed to have a show of her own with Stevie J. Then that got thrown out. Then she was supposed to have a TV show on WeTV VH1 called Jocelyn Takes Miami. Then something happened to that, and now she was on Married to Medicine, so she got a little check from that. Now she's on Love and Hip Hop Miami, and I think that suits her better because she does live in Miami. She was supposed to have a show with Miami, and at least she's still with Love and Hip Hop, which is what we know her for Love and Hip Hop Miami. So I think that'll be good for her. So you got two heavy hitters with Trina and Jocelyn Hernandez. Now, Jocelyn Hernandez, you're going to have to come with something this season. We can't have you, cussing folks out, fighting folks, and all that. You're going to have to come with some music. The only song Jocelyn Hernandez had that was good was called Baila or Baila. The whole song was in Spanish. It was like a reggaeton song, and it was actually good. And that was the only song she put out that was good. Other than that, you might need to get a ghostwriter like Cardi B got, because that's the only way you're going to be able to put your music out for people to take it seriously. Because on Love and Hip Hop, for you to last, you're going to have some music. But yeah, Married to Medicine, from what I see and hear, that's getting stale too. Just like Housewives of Atlanta is. I mean, all of these reality shows that came out back in the late 2000s, like '06, '05, '08-ish. I'm like, it's time for y'all to go. Like, y'all need to get the boot, the sweeper. Like, y'all need to be left in 2019. And I feel like if they want to do some new reality shows, we need to have some new ones. I'm gonna be honest, I would like to see some Hispanic reality TV shows coming on. Cause Cartel Crew, I wish I would have stayed and did a review for that. Cause I like Cartel Crew. Eddie is my favorite. He is so fine on there. Even though he cheated on Tattoo Baby and they're not together no more. He is he's fine. I love watching him on his live and everything. I do like Michael Corleone, who's Griselda's Blanco's son, the Colombian Queen Pen. And I did like Cartel Crew, so I think that's a pretty good show. They did get okay for a second season, so I would like to start seeing more Hispanics on reality TV, because I think reality TV needs a mix up and a shake up when it comes to TV. Because with the black ones, I'm doing a video. Because with the black ones, I feel like they just real ratchet and everybody arguing and fighting and stuff. And I just feel like it's getting old. And you do have like that love something reality show with black people on it. I ain't interested in it. And I just feel like as black people, we need to maybe do a little bit more than reality TV. We need to start doing some news TV shows, some talk shows, some sitcoms and things like that. I feel like we need to expand and give this reality TV show to some other folks because I feel like it's getting old with us. You know, we started it. Well, it was really white people who started it because you had like the Real World and a lot of other shows, and then blacks started doing like college road trip, college. What was the name of that show on BET about people in college? Beautiful Major, do you remember? I think it was College Hill. Yeah, College Hill. Yeah, we had College Hill. That was actually good. I liked it. We had College Hill. Then we had, the Housewives show started coming out. Then Love and Hip Hop started coming out. And I remember Keisha Cole. She was actually the first R&B artist to have a reality TV show. And that's when all the others came out. Then T.I. and Tiny. Then Tiny and Toya, and you had Welcome to Sweetie Pies that came out. I love Welcome to Sweetie Pies on. And they ended it. I felt like it was time for it to end anyway, because Miss Robbie and Tim, they just wasn't getting along, and that kept just spiraling out of control. And I just find it sad with Welcome to Sweetie Pies, like how everything happened. It was good in the beginning, because Miss Robbie, she was a backup singer for Tina Turner. She was an ICAT, and she sung with a lot of good people. And then, she had a business. It was, a family and everything. And then, her grandson was murdered. And then her family, they just went through a lot through the season. Her grandson was actually on the show. And then it's like a year later, somebody killed him. And that was sad. And I felt like that was a good family show. But yeah, Keisha Cole, I don't think Keisha Cole bleached her skin. Keisha Cole's always been light skinned. She's always been light skinned. Yeah, well, back in the day when she first came out, she was a little tan. Yeah, she was a little tan. But I think now, I don't know. I feel like now it's probably makeup. But then again, she might be doing something to her skin. She might be doing something to her skin. But Keisha Cole, I don't like her attitude. I like Keisha Cole when she first came out with Love. I should have cheated. I changed my mind. Trust and believe. Play your cards right. I mean, she had hit after hit after hit. And when she did her reality show, I really liked how she talked about her life and her mom and her sister and how she was raised and how that hurt her and everything. And that's what I like. Now Keisha Cole, she's coming off as cocky. Cause this guy named OT Genesis had did like a parody of her song Love, and she said she didn't like it. I'm like, a lot of these old school people need to be humble and grateful for things like Instagram and YouTube. Because I'm like, when people don't be listening to y'all's music, some of these snippets people put in their videos and Instagram pages, it rekindles y'all's music, and people remember who y'all are, and they want y'all to come back out again. So yeah, Keisha, I'm like, you keep the attitude. Keisha, I feel like she does look a little different, but I think it's coming with age, because when she's in her what mid 30s now, when she came out, I think she was what 22, 23, 24. So she was young. Yeah, she was young back then, and her hair and everything was so different. I love her hair back then because her and Tyra Banks had like that long, wavy, red, orange, brown type of mixed hair that was really pretty. And see, back then, people they was wearing lace fronts, and that was before lace fronts became real popular or known. And I think Rihanna was wearing her hair like that too back then. And once the secret got out, that's when lace front wigs started becoming really popular. And yeah, but I think Keisha Cole's mama might be sick, or maybe it's her age catching up with her. Because when I was watching her TV show, because she got a boyfriend now, and they have a child together and everything, and she's still dealing with stuff with her mama not being there, and her mama, being addicted to drugs and in and out of jail, and just not that supportive of her growing up. She's still dealing with that. But I think her mama, I think her mama's lifestyle and life choices is catching up to her, because her face, she looks like she's sick. I don't know how old Keisha Cole's mama is, because she has a lot of kids. I think she had about five or six, and she's only able to remember four out of the six she has, because she said in her TV show she don't even remember the last two kids she had. So she got kids out here she don't even know still exist. And I just feel like her lifestyle and her life is catching up to Frankie, because Frankie, she did a lot. And I remember Neffy and Frankie had a TV show on BET. Frankie ended up being on an episode of Judge Mathis. I think she was suing somebody or getting sued by somebody. Then Neffy ended up on a Yana Van Zant Fix My Life with her husband or her boyfriend due to infidelity issues and stuff. So they just have a very dysfunctional background. It's like Keisha was the one who made it out and made something of herself. But the sum of all of it, it's just sad how a lot of black artists grew up with that dysfunction in their family. And with the mama not being there, the daddy not being there, and them not knowing who the dad is, and growing up with drugs and violence and stuff. And I mean, they make wonderful music, have beautiful voices and stuff. And it just seems like the beauty with us, and I hate this, the beauty comes out of our pain. And I think that's why black music is so popular and whatnot, because it's raw and it's catchy and fun and memorable, but it's always coming out of a place of pain. So yeah. But Keisha Cole, yeah, I like Keisha Cole, back in the day, but now I just feel like her attitude is, you can keep it. You can keep it. We don't really need all that right now. But yeah, yeah, so that's pretty much it for my 2019 memories. Before I go, do you guys have any questions that you guys want to ask me before I go and wrap this up? I think the makeup on Keisha Cole, like they did Tia Mowry. Yeah, yeah, I've always liked Keisha Cole. I never really had an issue with her. It's just an attitude sometimes. And then one time she picked on Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child real bad on Twitter, because she said she's always messing up the mood. And I just feel like with Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child, she has a unique voice. I feel, and people pick on her for her voice, and I'm like, y'all listen to Macy Gray all these years, and her voice is scratchy and raspy and whispery too. She even sung a theme song for what was the name of that TV show? Someone once told me the grass is much greener on the other side. Do y'all know what the name of that TV show was called that Macy Gray sung the theme song for? It wasn't Rugrats. It wasn't Taina. It wasn't. It was some show on Nickelodeon. Yeah, as told by Ginger. Yeah, that's what it was. And I'm like, y'all picked on Michelle for having a raspy voice, and Macy Gray had the same thing. And I just feel like Michelle Williams just needs to be content with herself and to love her own voice and to get for help for herself and to just stand out and not care what anybody has to say. Because unfortunately, just like with Little Mama, there's just some people in the world, and it's sad they have to deal with this, where they can be talented and make so many milestones, and it's like they're still not accepted by anybody. They do hip hop music. Hip hop people don't like them, so they don't like them. So it's like, I don't know what to do. Well, tonight for New Year's, I'm pretty much I'm not gonna really have a shindig. I have been on a cleanse. I decided to go on a cleanse for New Year's. I decided to end my cleanse today, and I also use my candles. I've been using my candles during my cleanse because I really want to start my year off really well with positive vibes. And see, I don't think I've ever showed. I think I did show a candle of mine in my 7 day candle magic video I did earlier this year. But as far as these, I don't know if you guys have ever seen these. This is my road opener or Abre Camino candle. I actually used this candle to get my job this year because what I did first, I was tired of working at the job I was at. So I started applying to full time jobs. And as I was applying, I got this candle and I prayed on it continuously. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed and I used my intentions. And, I burned it down to the bottom and I eventually got the job. So this candle worked. Now with this candle is the Blockbuster candle, and they have this candle in like tons of different colors, and I like how this candle has directions on the back in English and in Spanish. And I did say that I was going to do a bilingual channel because I really want to have more subscribers and more viewers and more people come to my channel. And since I do speak Spanish and I want to reach that demographic and have some Spanish speakers come onto my channel and whatnot, I think that's what I want to do because I'm not sure if a lot of people know that when it comes to alternative spirituality, that people like to call it, not candle worshiping, but using candles is very prominent in the Hispanic culture. When you go to like the Catholic culture, they use candles and you'll see them with the saints and the litanies on the back in English and Spanish. That's what they use when they pray. And then if you're not Catholic or if you believe in Santeria or Lukumi, then you would use a 7 day candle or a 14-day candle and a saint candle as well, because Santeria is a religion that the African slaves from Nigeria brought over to the Caribbean, and they use the orishas um, to worship and to do spells and spiritual baths and different things with, but they use the Catholic saints as a cover up because we all know during the slave trade they wanted to take every ounce of blackness out of us that they could and make us assimilate to their culture. And the Africans' way in the Caribbean of preserving their culture, they used candles, which you'll see if you look up African spirituality. A lot of the stuff in Santeria and African spirituality they use, like candles, spell work, root work, smoke work, oracle bones, shell readings. Now, tarot card readings, I don't know if they incorporated that from the Europeans, but I've never heard of tarot cards being used in Santeria like they are now. And I also know that Santeria has their own astrology as well, where each, like a Sagittarius or Aquarius or Gemini, has their own Orisha that represents that month or that astrological sign. So yeah, that's what Santeria is, or Wicca and other spirituality practices are. And I will be doing videos on those for people that are interested and if they know how to use those candles. Now, Beautiful Magic, I remember you told me you were doing research on Haitian voodoo. I think that time where you were reading about the Loas, and it's not actually called Loas, it's LWA, and I have to look up to see what that means. But I know what you're talking about because they have the Erzulis, which are like the female spirits. Because you have one that's like a dark black woman that has like the scratches on her face with the baby, and then you have another one who's like of a white woman, and she has like a cross and a heart and all these jewels and stuff around her. And then you have the pretty symbol of like the heart and the little lines and the symbols and the designs around it. Because when we went to Miami, and my friend Manny and I went to the art exhibit in Miami, they had an artist who painted the Erzulis and the Haitian voodoo symbol there. And I thought that was ironic because I've been looking into that. And I came there and they had the paintings of those, spirits on there. So, yeah. Yep, we did have a fun time. Fun, fun, fun. For fun, fun, fun. Ooh. For fun, fun, fun. Ooh. For fun, fun, fun. Kaboom, pop. Boom, pop. Fun, fun, fun. Kaboom, pop. Boom, pop. Boom, pop. Boom. Yes, Miami was very fun and we had a lot. In 2020, I'm actually going to finish up my videos on Miami because I really want, because I want to talk about Doral because we went to Hollywood, so I want to talk about all of the cities. And I actually, to those of you who know, you probably know from watching my channel that I'll be in Puerto Rico next week around this time. And I've decided that once I get to my hotel room, I'm going to vlog. And I'm actually going to put that I'm going to schedule that live stream, because you can schedule your streams on here. And so I'll schedule it into people that are interested. They can, be notified of when I'll do my stream. And then once the day hits, I'll go ahead and do up the stream and whatnot. Do I believe in beautiful magic? I'm still having issues where it's splitting it in half. Do I believe in what? Aliens. I I don't. I mean, I don't. Well, I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to aliens, there's a lot about space we don't know. You have the planets Mars, Venus, Pluto, Earth, the galaxy and the stars. And they have, I think they said one time before that there were signs of life on Mercury. They said Mercury is so hot. As soon as you touch the surface, you burn up. But, I don't know. When it comes to aliens, I don't know. I mean, they might have existed, might not have existed. I don't know because I don't know everything in the galaxy. I mean, we've gone to the moon and we know about the craters and stuff, but when it comes to like aliens, and I really can't say because I just feel like there's a lot of things in the galaxy and in the solar system that we just don't know about yet because they find stuff all the time. Well, that's so much for my live. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, leave a comment in the comment section, and have a good day and Happy New Year.